I got 100. Nigga, I'm from New York. I got a
Okay.
semi-automatic that speaks next time that you talk.
Do
I
you
got
want
a
to go?
hundred other clips. Nigga, I'm from New York. New York.
Time out. Time out. Time out. I want you to be honest to the fans. How long have you been a Knicks fan?
Since this decade started.
So
Since the
2020.
Fizdale era.
No, no, no. I'm just asking so that we can
Since
just
the
clarify
Fizdale era,
everything.
nigga. Since the
Listen,
Fizdale era.
I'm
Since the
asking you a
Fizdale
question.
era. Since the Fizdale era. Yeah, I said it.
No, I'm just well. What year have you been a Knicks fan?
2019, 2020.
So, and I enjoy. I like the. I want to respect the feeling that you are feeling. You know, being a basketball fan of a team, right, or player, seeing them get to a finals or win it all, it makes you feel good. So I know how you feel. I just want it to be known to all Knicks fans that you are sort of a bandwagon, and that's it.
I bought stock at the right time. That's
No,
like me.
yeah, I just want you to say that. Like, don't just act like
I
you was
always
there.
said that
You
though.
hold on,
That's
time
not,
on,
I
hold
mean,
on,
you're not gonna ruin my
hold
parade.
on, hold
New
on,
York
hold on,
City, New York
hold
City,
on,
New York
hold on,
City. You ain't gonna ruin
hold
the
on,
parade, nigga. New York City.
hold on,
You're
hold
not gonna
on.
ruin the parade. You're not
I'm
gonna
not.
ruin the parade.
How am I ruining the parade? I'm proud of the Knicks.
Hold on. We don't give a
When
fuck
have
about
I
that.
can? When
We don't
have
give
I
a
not
fuck
give?
about that.
When have I not given respect when it's due? You let me
We don't
know.
give a fuck about that. Yo, I got a jersey for you in the mail.
Bring it. I'm gonna wear it, bro. I'm not gonna lie to the fans like you gonna lie to the fans.
Whenever I ever lied to the fans.
No, my point is you wasn't really there. I respect the Knicks fans that really went through that drought. You feel me? When their team was real bullshit, you wasn't even there.
I
You was with
respect it.
OK. You was with OKC.
And
Just
isn't
say
it crazy
that.
how?
Just say that
Isn't
to
it
the
crazy how? Come
fans.
on,
Just
come
say
on, come on.
that.
Isn't it crazy how if I could go to, I could have said I'm an OKC fan and I could still say I'm a champion. But I said
Yeah.
fuck that.
But you
Let
left
me
when
come
they.
home
But
to New
then
York, where
you
I'm
left
from.
OK. So then when did you leave OKC?
So when Russ left, when he went to Houston,
So once that team got bad, you left.
my shit
And
was
then
over.
and then and then and then you went to the team when they started doing decently. I'm not acting like you was a Knicks
Oh
fan
no,
this
no,
year.
no. They only
I'm
won.
not
They
gonna
only
say.
won like 11 games, 19 games with on the Fizdale era. They wasn't good to trust. They was not good under David Fizdale.
No, I just don't. Cause how long have I known you, sir?
Damn near our whole life.
Nah, I love you, but I just said I don't remember in 2019 you talking about the Knicks. I just don't
I got
remember.
my song right here. We was yo song. Where
I
you at?
just don't remember.
Yo,
I can
Boston
respect Son. Tell Son pull up. He's a real Knicks fan. I can't say nothing to
bro,
Son.
we was talking about this when it was R.J. Barrett, Marcus Morris, Bobby Portis.
That was no. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about when it was purgatory, except not when they had
What
RJ.
with the Ron Bakers, the Alonzo Triers?
I'm talking about when it was bad, bro. I'm talking about when it
Nigga,
was
I was
bad.
there with
Not when they
Quincy.
had
Yo,
RJ
yo,
Barrett,
y'all niggas
nigga.
wasn't there. Y'all niggas
Don't do
wasn't there.
that.
Hold on,
Don't do that.
hold on. Time out. Y'all was not there when Quincy AC snubbed John Wall on Christmas Day when they were saying fire David. Y'all niggas wasn't there. Let me get a chair. Yo, sit right here. Yo, we got OG Knicks fan Son in the building right here. My man's wanted to come through and shout out. It's debatable, man. Pull up, man. Come grab a seat, man. Say what's up to the fans. What's going on, Justin?
Son, before you go, I'm gonna give you the floor too. When did you become a Knicks fan? I just want to know.
Uh, I became a Knicks fan as early as the days. Kobe, I think he tore his Achilles. I couldn't root for nobody else. So the team I fell in love with was the first team with Amari Stoudemire just right before they acquired Carmelo Anthony.
Right,
And it's been
right.
a lot
So
of years of suffering. But
right, okay. Now talk your shit. No, I just wanted to know. I respect. You know what? I respect the Knicks fans that went through those tough years. You feel me? When their starting lineups had Lance Thomas in it. You feel me? Those starting lineups when they had Jose Calderon at the point. You feel me?
it
Don't
was
when they had Lou Amundsen at power forward. You feel me? Some of these names Seb don't know because he
You
is
don't
a
even know who Lance
bandwagon.
Thomas is.
He was a
No,
painter. He
Seb.
likes to
No,
paint.
Seb. No, I'm not talking
Seb
about
knows
Seb.
who
Because
Lance
Seb is a
Thomas.
no, because Seb is a bandwagon fan. But on the
Yo,
floor is
tell
yours.
me.
Talk
I
your
don't know
shit,
what
Nah,
he's
man.
talking about.
I'm not gonna
Yo,
lie to
let's on talk. Let's on
I'm not gonna
talk.
lie, Justo. And before we get into the pause, the protein of the conversation, in 2020, Seb called me. No, 2019 actually. Seb called me and said, "I love this team with Bobby Portis, Julius Randle." I'll give him that. And
Yeah, I know. Facts.
ever since he's taken the Knicks and he embraces us. So you gotta give a
Facts.
shout out to Seb with that.
Facts. That's facts.
These niggas changed my life, nigga. These fuck niggas changed my life. But this ain't about me. It's about this. It's about New York City right now and getting back to the finals since 1999. We was 1 year old.
Let's on talk, bro.
Listen, I don't know what y'all touched
Damn.
upon so
We
far,
just started.
but I came wearing all black because job's not finished yet. But let's just give a shout out. Let me start off by saying this first. Let's give a shout out to James Dolan. He finally found management and GMs that he trusts. Shout out James Dolan. Shout out Leon Rose and shout out Worldwide West. The team they put together, and I'm going to jump out the window. I don't care what other people do because it's been 53 years since a championship was delivered to the Garden, to Gotham City. They put together a dynasty. You have everything you need in a dynasty. You have a starting five that's aligned to play the next 4 to 5 years with each other. You have a guy in Mitchell Robinson. You could go out. If you could acquire him to stay, you have 6 guys that you could fill in with draft picks and veterans to compete almost for the next 4 to 5 years. Shout out to Leon Rose. Shout out to Worldwide West. Shout out to James Dolan. But let's get to the players. Big Body Brunson. I'm going to say it. He's a top 3 guard in basketball. And there's no argument no more. There's nothing this guy can't do. If you need him to go out and you need him to put on his cape, he'll do that. But if you need him to dish out the ball and get everybody involved, he'll do that. If you're within 7.7, what do I tell you every game? If within 7 points in the fourth quarter, Big Body Brunson, it's time to dance. The way he did to James Harden this whole series should be on Crime Stoppers. He embarrassed him. He literally said, "This is my league now. I don't care about what you've done. What have you done for me lately?" And Jalen Brunson has been a top 3 guard in the NBA. Let's get there. Cat Jokic. Cat Jokic. Let's get to Cat Jokic. I love Cat Carl Anthony Towns, but I think that what a lot of people is not understanding is he had to sacrifice. He had to realize this is Jalen Brunson's team. I have to get with the program or they're going to ship me out of here. And shout out for Cat for taking on that role and say, you know what? I can't go out and get 25, 30 points every night because Jalen Brunson, we need him to be there. And we need Mikal Bridges. We need OG Anunoby. We need Josh Hart. We need Landry Shamet to be involved. But you know what I am going to do? I'm going to take on that real Draymond role, that facilitator role. I'm going to get guys involved. I'm going to go out and actually move my feet. Have you seen Karl Anthony Towns moving puppies? 3 steals back-to-back games. He's been out there playing some of the highest level basketball I've seen from Karl Anthony Towns. And we expected this from Karl Anthony Towns, but we haven't seen it. And Minnesota, they fake started doubting him. That's why he was traded to the New York Knicks. When we came back here, I'll be honest. I'm not going to be one of those delusional fans that lie. I wasn't sold on Cat. He fouled a lot when he first came, and he would get into these molds like Julius Randle does when he takes the fun out of the locker room. Where he's not having a good night, he brings other guys down. I hate players like that. If you have 5 points, but we win the game, you should be smiling. The job in the NBA is winning basketball games. And that's what some of these dudes get wrapped up. They want to make all NBAs, and I understand that because money is important. They want to make all-star games. They want to be Eastern Conference MVPs, but it takes time for that. You might have that in your next run, but this run, you have to say, okay, Jalen Brunson, arguably, he has been the best playoff scorer in arguably the last 2-3 years. So we know, okay, what we need, what we expect for him. But other guys are also stepping up. Shout out Iron Man. Seb gave him a lot of bullshit this whole year. And I'm the first to say it. I don't give a F about them 5 picks. take them, because they was going to end up being Wolf with the Brooklyn Nets, or there was going to be other prospects that wouldn't do what Mikal Bridges has been doing. He's been going out there and he said, give me your best player. I don't care if it's Tyrese Maxey. I'm going to hold him to 17 points in the series. I don't care if it's James Harden. I don't care if it's CJ McCollum. Whoever is in front of me, I don't care if it's Alexander Walker. Whoever in front of me, I'm going to put pressure on the ball. I'm going to stop the ball. I'm going to be that defensive presence, that on-ball attack on defense. And he's been excelling in his role. Shout out Mikal Bridges. OG, we don't got to say enough. OG's a versatile defender. He's been doing this thing. Landry Shamet. A lot of people told me when Landry Shamet came to the team, they said, Soren, I don't know. Why do you think this guy can play basketball? And I told everybody, relax. It's a veteran presence that can shoot the ball at a high level. You can never go wrong with signing a guy like that. He's a locker room guy. He's been in other situations that went to the playoffs before. Adding a guy like that never hurts. Adding a guy like Jordan Clarkson never hurts. It puts character in your locker room. And now you have a team that believes. And once you have belief, I'm sorry, I'm going to let Justin, I'm going to let Seb touch on it. This is the last thing I will say. Nobody that's left in the playoffs want to see this New York Knicks team.
You mentioned Josh Hart, too.
Oh, shout out Josh Hart.
That's the hardest.
Garden.
I agree with everything you said. Shout out to the front office. Definitely did a good job. Seb already knows I'm just real pause hard on teams and players that haven't gotten it done. I don't care about getting to the playoffs, even getting to the finals. I need to see teams get it done. Right? And that's why I definitely agree with you. The job is not finished, but Seb knows ever since the playoffs started, I give my honest take and I give credit to where it's due. You brought up Jalen Brunson being a top three guard. I said that on the last show. I put him now in my top three. I just can't put him above Luca or Shea. I would need to see him just do a little bit more. Cat's been playing unselfishly. They've put together a great roster of versatile defenders, people that can get buckets when need to, and they have been dangerous. Let me ask you. Well, first, let me address what you said. I don't teams that don't want to see them that's left. They're going to the finals. They're either going to play the Spurs or OKC. This is me personally, and I've debated my family about this. I think they're better off playing the Spurs. I think the Spurs still make so much little mistakes that I don't think they're all the way ready yet, and I can end up being wrong. They play tonight, and it can go up 3-2 and possibly win this series. But I just think they'll be a tougher matchup against Oklahoma City due to the fact I feel OKC's depth is better than the Knicks' depth. Not saying the Knicks don't have people that can come off the bench, right? Shout out to Deuce McBride, the Landry Shamits of the world, right? All those dudes who have been playing great. I just feel that experience, right? The Carusos of the world, the Hartensteins, a former New York Knick that knows how certain players over there just like to operate. The Isaiah Joes of the world, the Jared McCain. So I just feel that'll be a tougher matchup for them. But I think once we get there, it's gonna be very interesting. And shout out to that. But last question, I just wanted to ask you, what do you say to the people that say the run that the Knicks had to the finals, they haven't maybe faced the toughest competition that was out there in the East?
I would say cry me a river. That's what I would say, because we got to talk about this. At the end of the season, I would be the first to say we didn't look sharp. We didn't look like this team we are today. And what did people tell us? Oh, lose games to avoid the Hawks. The Hawks is too much of a good team. They're the Slayer at the bottom of the conference. All this good shit. Cool. And shout out the Hawks, because this is what the Hawks did. I told people you cannot duck in the playoffs because iron sharpens iron. I'd rather play Atlanta Hawks team. I'd rather play a Boston team first or second. So now I could, if I get in a series and I could take the life out of you, now we're going into the next series with nothing but confidence. So the Atlanta Hawks series, shout out the Atlanta Hawks. They did a hell of a job this year. They had a great team. They sharpened us. They awoken us when with those back-to-back 1-point losses, and the Knicks haven't looked back. And the reason why I would say You have to crawl before you can walk. The Knicks have suffered for 53 years without a championship. This is the most dominant run we've seen in New York history. So yes, the opponents haven't been up to a Spurs caliber, a OKC caliber, a Boston Celtic caliber. But at the end of the day, they're not playing with their food. And let me tell you this: in closeout games, they're averaging 24 points plus win margin. They are not playing with you. If you give them the opportunity to close on your floor, we're sending you home in front of your kids and your wife. And we don't care how you feel. We don't care if you see a summertime and it get like that. We have to handle business. And Jalen Brunson, he's been a baby and a baby face assassin. When he comes to your building, he's happy. He don't like being at home. He's comfortable on the road. Because he knows once that's the crowd gets silent, you can hear a pin drop and you hear MVP chants from the New York fans. Shout out to New York fans that's traveling, that's spinning that bag. No fan base is like the New York fan base. We don't care if it's OKC, the Spurs, we will be in the building. And we will, if they let us, the crowd get involved from the New York fans, we will chant and we will chant our players on. And with Jalen Brunson, you have to believe at this point. I was just arguing with somebody and they was telling me, oh, this always happens to the Knicks. They always go to the finals. They never get it done. And this is why we suffered for so much years as New York Knicks fans. Because you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. At some point, you got to respect good basketball, tip your hat, and say, yo, hell of a run. Y'all playing dominant basketball. Y'all clicking on all cylinders. And at this point, to me, you're just like another level hater if you don't want to see them win it all. Because the story is just amazing. You have guys that have been doubted their whole career, and the Josh Harts of the world, and the Jalen Brunsons of the world, of the Landry Shamans of the world, of the Deuce McBride, where some of these guys, they said they'll be out the league in 4 or 5 years, and they're dominating at the highest level. And now you bring in the number one pick like Karl Anthony Towns, and he's been a guy that nobody has ever questioned Cat's skills. We have questioned his drive for the game, his love for the game. And I see the passion. It was a clip that Ben Stiller took yesterday. It was a video. I don't know if you've seen it, Justo. I don't know how deep you are in the Knicks fans right now, but I'm deep pulsed. Ben Stiller took a video, and once they secured the win and the time was clicking out, Cat went to hug Jalen Brunson, and he said 4 more to go. And that's the mindset we need. Yes, we celebrate today. Yes, you could go home. You could go with your wife, get the treatment you need. But tomorrow, be in the gym and be ready to work. Job is not finished. That's why I'm wearing my all black and my glasses. These are my funeral glasses. This is why I'm wearing that, because whatever team we see out of the Spurs or the OKC, they better be ready to go to war. Because this team is not going to lie down. They don't care if they're down 25 points and it's 5 minutes left. We're going to fight to the end. And unless you're ready to fight, I know OKC's caliber, so you are right when you say OKC is in a different level. And I believe that also. But the thing that I would say that it really doesn't matter, because availability is the best ability. And J-Dub and AJ Mitchell they're not looking 100%. So now if you have those two guys not in your run, I'm not scared of OKC too. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, because those guys are very key for what they do. They get pressure off of Shea, the other ball handlers that could take attention off of him. And we have the wing stop. We have Mikal Bridges that's going to pick you up 90 feet, and he's going to guard. We have OG Anunoby. He don't care if he got to guard Chet Holmgren or if he got to guard Shea Gildress. Whoever you pick me on, I'm going to battle, and I'm going to make it tough for him. And I think that the Knicks, they got a good chance to win it all. I get what Cameron's saying on First Take. I get he's worried. I guess it's been a long time of suffering, but that's why it's been 53 years. The Knicks fans, well, New York fans in general, they are never happy with results. Every time somebody wins or something's good going on in the city, you're going to have guys that have something to say. And at this point, people just have to support the run and say, this is great basketball.
No, I definitely agree. But I can see where people are being worried. It's like if you're in a relationship, right, and you keep cheating on your girl, and then you'll finally get back together and things are going well. In the back of her mind is going to be like, well, this happened before, so something has to be going on, right? Something bad has to be going on, because every time things are going good for a couple months, this when the bullshit happened. So I could definitely see how the Camerons of the world or people are still a little bit nervous. Like I said, I want to have you back on the platform once. the finals do get started, because I think what people are kind of alluding to in a way is that the finals isn't gonna be a sweep. I don't think on either end.
No,
I don't see the Spurs or the Knicks sweeping. I meant the Spurs or the Thunder sweeping the Knicks, and I don't see the Knicks sweeping the Spurs or the Thunder. So, how are the Knicks going to face that adversity, right? And it's not the same Atlanta Hawks adversity, right? That's two different calibers of teams. So it's going to be interesting. Um, but
can I
shout out,
just say
go
one
ahead.
thing? My bad. Before y'all move on with the segments, but this is what I was saying. Shout out Mike Brown. That was one person I forgot in my shout out. Shout out Mike Brown. The reason why I feel like I'm not worried either team is because this Cat Jokic offense, just on paper, has been more dominant than the 2017 Golden State Warriors. And if the fans that's watching this think I'm lying, go
No,
get
no, 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 no. So I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't know if you came here a little bit tipsy. But no, that's not. And I don't want you to go to numbers either. I don't give a fuck about that. And I'm talking about the eye test.
no, they
That
want to.
20, that 27,
I'm
the
not saying that.
2017. Oh, I don't. You could
I'm
take
not saying
numbers, but watching
I'm
the
not crazy.
2017 Warriors,
It's
was
Kenny
that
Atkinson shit.
I'm
offense
not no.
prolific
I'm not crazy. But
Analytically.
look, I'm just saying that
analytically.
this is a shout out my guy Reem. Shout out my guy Reem. Because he
Not
believes
only.
that stats matter. I believe it's
Yeah.
stats mixed with the eye test. So that stat, I'm just bringing it up. I don't think they're better than the Golden State Warriors in 2017. I just think that their offense is flowing at that high of a level. I don't think they're better. I don't think they're on the same caliber of team, but their offense has been dominant in this run. So if you keep running the offense through Cat, I think that the sky's the limit.
Okay. I'm not mad. That's just, and we're going a little bit off topic, but just having that conversation, you insert that Knicks team in 2017 going up against the Cavs. I think the Cavs have a lot better shot. Like, that team was assembled to
Oh,
stop
hell yeah.
LeBron.
Hell
You
yeah.
feel me? Like, but we can debate that all day. At the end of the day, the New York Knicks handle business. They got Cleveland out of here in four. They got Philly out of here in four. Got Atlanta out of here in six. They any test that's been put in front of them so far, they've passed with flying colors. Like I said, they've made me a believer. This is the best Knicks team I've seen in a while. Jalen Brunson has once again definitely earned my respect. But the finals is really where, now when you talk about those top 10, top five players of all times, right? It's their finals performances, right? The Kobe Bryants of the world, the LeBron James, the Michael Jordans, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If Jalen Brunson really wants to go down in history as one of the greatest point guards of all time, right? Getting in that convo with the Isaiah Thomases and the Stephen Currys, this is where you're gonna have to show the Dallas Mavericks had two generational fumbles, right?
Can I ask you a question? One quick
Go
question.
ahead.
If Jalen Brunson, say he shows up, dominant performance, he's averaged maybe let's say 29.4 in the finals, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Where do you rank him on the where do you rank him on the guards list, the point guards of all time?
If he was to win it all, Finals MVP, and does what he's supposed to do all time, you can. I mean, you can argue, I guess, and this is off the top of my head, I guess a top 10 point guard of all time.
I was telling listen, I had a conversation with somebody in these crazy New York streets, and they told me I was insane after one championship saying top 10. But this is you got to think about story matters. Like you said, eye test. Story matters as much as the eye test. This is a guy that's not supposed to be here. He's not supposed to dominate at this level. He was a second round pick. Nobody expected Jalen Brunson to be doing this. If you told somebody in 2018 that Jalen Brunson would be a top three guard in the NBA in 2026, they might think you were smoking that shit. And that's just the reality of it. So story matters. And I think that when you think of story, when you think of franchise and 53-year droughts, if he brings one home to the city, we don't have to get deep into it because obviously this is a what if. He's a top 10 guard of all time.
No, yeah, because after you name about five guards, that's when I feel the list gets a little. Who's your favorite and who do you like,
Yeah,
right?
I
You
think
obviously,
it's a little more debatable.
Yeah,
I
you
appreciate
obviously
all the
can't say the Magic
basketball
Johnsons.
MVPs.
Right. You can't say the Magic Johnsons, the Stephen Currys, the Isaiah Thomases, right? I still don't think of John Stockton, even with the title. Um, yeah, but once you start going past those, you could start having some interesting conversation.
My
Yeah,
thing is,
but go ahead, sir.
my thing is this too.
So give
I
me the
think
camera.
that I
Don't be
think the story.
shy.
Now I'll let you have the limelight. I'll let you have the limelight. My thing is this though, for just the matter that they've done it in, and just everybody's saying just the competition in the East is weak. I don't think they've given enough credit to just how dominant the Knicks been. And I know we didn't see Boston or Detroit, but that's something you can't help. You play who's in front of you.
Don't play with your lunch.
That's something you. If that was the case, Boston would have seen us in the second round and they would have handled their 3-1 lead. Detroit would have not been down 3-1 to Orlando because they were the best team in the East. So I look at it and people say, "Oh, you're not going to see that." I think when you build that type of consistency in your offense and you get on these win streaks, I think that momentum can carry over to two teams that are juggernauts in the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think it's going to be an easy task at hand though, but I think when you build that type of momentum to where you're on an 11 game win streak in the playoffs, like win streaks are not easy to come out. Winning a series in the playoffs, cool, that's one thing. But a win streak in the playoffs and you're only two losses by two, you're building the right foundation too, so that you could see a Western Conference team. You're prepping yourself to see a Western Conference team.
My bad. Justo, you remember we was in the studio in November. I predicted the Seahawks to obviously go on and win the Super Bowl. Shout out to them. Shout out Sam Donald and the crew. That's a different story. We're getting to that football season. But when we talked about basketball in that same episode, y'all had a great question. Shout out to y'all for always having great questions. The question was, who's the biggest threat to OKC Thunder? Obviously, me being a New York Knicks fan, I said my Knicks. And the reason why I said that is because they check every mark when it comes down to competing with the Oklahoma City Thunders. They have a closer that can match Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Brunson. They could cancel each other out. You have defenders you could throw on Shea Gilgeous and defenders you could throw at him in the Deuce McBrides, the Landry Shams of the world, the OG Ananobi's, the Mikal Bridges. Shit. Right now, I don't even mind if you get how Jose Alvarado, he's out there sliding his puppies. I'm not mad if you get anybody out there with the Knicks, but I think that they really established hard over height, and they don't care who's in front of them. They're gonna play hard, and they're gonna try to run you out of the building. And I think the Thunder is hungry, but I also, me personally, I have the Spurs winning that series. That's a topic for obviously another conversation. But I think with the Thunder, I think that this is the thing about a finals run. It's very hard to repeat it, and that's why it's so hard. And you have to respect all dynasties of the world, of the Spurs, the Golden State Warriors, the LeBron James of the world, because LeBron James was his own dynasty. But you have to respect it because it's so hard. So much things have to go right in the run. So much people have to stay healthy, and it's very hard to duplicate that over and over again. Me personally, when we talk, I said I don't got OKC coming out only because I knew health was going to play a factor, and I knew J Dub or either Chet was going to go down. Not wishing it on them, it's just the likelihood one of them was going to go down. It ended up being J Dub, but now watching them, I feel like their offense gets stagnant. J Dub he's a facilitator for them. He's somebody that can take pressure off Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. To me, I'm not gonna say the scarier opponent is the Spurs, but they have so much bodies they can throw at you. They have so much dogs they can say, yo, go sick them, go get on Jalen Brunson, go make it hard, go make it a long series. And I'm not saying you should be scared or either or, but you can't duck what comes with it. You're gonna either have to be Wemby, or you're gonna have to be SGA, and there's no way around it. If you want to do that, obviously you have to look like you look these last 11 games.
No, yeah. I think just when it comes to OKC, you're talking from a Knicks point of view, and I understand why. You gotta look on the other side. Cat's gonna have, if he plays either the Spurs or the Thunder, the toughest matchups that he's had all playoffs. Period. I don't know how Cat's gonna fare against Victor Wembanyama. I can see Cat getting into some foul trouble and getting real frustrated, right? And on the other side, with OKC too, Chet. And Hartenstein, they're not gonna play around with Carl Anthony Towns, right? That this is not Jared Allen and Evan Mobley who have no heart at all, right? This is not Joel Embiid who can't move laterally right to left. And this is not the Hawks who they don't even have a center. Right? So Cat's going to have the toughest series out of all those Knicks players. And then also, who is Jalen Brunson gonna guard?
Me personally, I just think that this is what I tell guys. I would never ask James Harden, Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson to go out there and go stop a guy. But how you make a top five defense with those type of guys is you surround them with elite defenders and you hide them. And they also have to have high IQs. The thing that I trust with Jalen Brunson more than Karl Anthony Towns, he's a high IQ defender, which means I'm not capable to go stop a guy. But if I know I got to reach right here to poke the ball loose, I'm going to do that. And if I know if I got to slide in to take this charge, I'm going to do that. Now, to get to Karl Anthony Towns, I think that I wasn't. I'm not going to say I wasn't impressed. I think that the Hawks series, he played well, and I think the Philly series, he got in a lot of foul trouble. And then I think in this Cavs series, he played awesome. Now, what I think the next step is for Karl Anthony Towns, stop fouling. If he can stop, I don't even care if you give up a basket. Just stop fouling. If we don't need these fouls where it's like the fouls he picked up is just I don't want to curse on him, so it's
That
just not fouls.
that's gonna, but that's gonna if they do play now the Spurs, that's gonna happen with Wimby because you're seeing right now the only way they're stopping Wimby is from fouling him, and they're just not calling it.
Yeah, for sure. But this is the thing. We have the Wimby stopper. I don't know if you know, and his name is Mitchell Robinson. If you watch all the
No.
way back, if you watch,
Oh no 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 no
if
no
you
no
watch
no!
all the way back to that NBA Cup game, we were down almost 20 points when
I don't
Cat
want
was.
to hear about an NBA Cup, bro. I don't want to hear
Listen,
about no damn NBA Cup because the regular
almost-
season is one thing. Oh, the regular season is one thing. The playoffs is a different thing.
that's good.
When
What I tell you?
Go ahead.
No, you can go first.
No, no, I'm just saying Mitchell Robinson, and I love what Mitchell Robinson does. The way he affects the games is stuff you don't even see in the stat sheets. But Victor Wembanyama, and I've said this, I feel every week now of doing this show, he's the ultimate wild card. Who else have we seen make Chet look like this? Chet looks out of place right now, and we have never really seen that until it comes to a Victor Wembanyama. We seen in game one them having to bench a Hartenstein because the matchup just was not working. If Victor Wembanyama has his head on straight and is actually playing like a big, there's not no one that can stop him. That's not disrespect to Mitchell Robinson. That's giving
Mhm.
all the credit to Victor Wembanyama. Of course,
Yeah,
now of course he's gonna make it difficult. Mitchell Robinson is a big body. He fights down there. I seen it in this Cavs series. I see it all the time. I get where you're about to go with it. But if we all know on the show right now, Victor Wembanyama is playing with that energy, just like the last game. There's no one that can stop him.
I have a question. All right, so since the beginning of basketball, almost we only seen one guy be this early in his career that really got it done, and that's Magic Johnson. I think that you have to take your licks in the NBA. LeBron had to do it. Michael Jordan had to do it. All the best players had to do it. And the thing that I'm most concerned with Wemby is I think that the media, not the Spurs, I think the media is putting a lot of pressure on Wembyana to get it done right away. They are ahead of schedule. And that doesn't mean get complacent and lose, but they're way ahead of schedule. So if Wemby was to go to the finals and have a dud, could you be mad at him?
Have a dud? No, I wouldn't be mad. Don't when Wembanyama's doing all this and he hasn't even to me scratched the surface of how good he can be. The only problem I ever have with Wembanyama is that he plays like a guard. That's it. You feel me?
Me personally,
I feel
I
like
think
if
cool. When LeBron, like I know you're a LeBron fan, so I'm not trying to open no closed wounds.
Be
But
careful. Be careful. I'm ready to go.
I'm
Like,
just gonna say this: LeBron, most dominant player of all time, both arguably top one or top two of all time, hell of a player. But when LeBron ran into the Dallas Mavericks, you
facts.
had Dirk Nowitzki that was a hungry guy. He didn't get one for years, and he was like, "All right, I get this is LeBron James. I get this is legacy, but at this time, this is my only chance to get one because he's coming, and I think Wemby is coming." Pause. I think Wemby is coming,
Oh,
but but I also think you have to take your licks in basketball, and this is the same thing.
yes.
I'm not comparing this guy, but this is what I told guys with Jalen Duran. You can't be mad at this guy. He just emerged. He's got to go through them hiccups of not showing up to learn how to play the game. But that's a whole different story. But with Wembanyama, I wouldn't be mad if he made the playoffs and he gave you a couple 25-point performances and he had a couple tough performances. It happens in basketball. I've seen the best do it. So I'm going to get mad at Wemby if he does it. They are ahead of schedule.
You see, but you think you're slick, and I've been doing this for so long now that you and Seb can never get past me when y'all try to do this. You're hoping right now. Everything you're saying to me, you're trying to bring up history and now trying to apply it to right now and saying, would I be mad if was a fifth, we will all be drunk. We have to go about what we're seeing right now. And has Victor Wembanyama, what game can we really point to where we say he wet the bed. We just really haven't seen it because we haven't seen a player like this damn near ever.
Me personally, this is what I was saying. Shout out Wemby. I'm not taking nothing off his resume. Seb, I'm gonna let Seb talk. Obviously, because Seb been in the corner a little quiet, so
Nah,
I'm
just
gonna.
let Seth get out of here, man. I like the show. You know what? Me and you gonna talk behind the scenes. You know, probably have you as a regular on the show.
Listen,
Let's just
I'm gonna send
let's
you my. I'm gonna send you my
let
number.
yeah. Let's a Seb, and I think the show's go. Seb, get out the camera angle, please, real quick. Like, let's
Listen,
say.
this is what I'll say though regarding Wemby.
Mhm.
I get what you're saying, but I also feel like the Spurs haven't seen a big like Karl Anthony Towns yet. They haven't seen a guy that could shoot at that high of a level. So what the Knicks' job is Wemby's job is I don't care if you may use Luke Cornett as a decoy or whatever you want to do or Harrison Barnes, but my job is if you do not have Wemby down and out of that paint, we're gonna put up. You think the Boston Celtics shot a lot of threes? We gonna shoot every three we get, and if we happen to get hot, we're gonna blow you out the water because we're taking every three you allow us to take. And the problem with Wemby is I think that Karl Anthony Towns will also be that next player that I'm not going to say he's going to match Wemby because Wemby's obviously a better player. But he's going to be that guy that says, I'm Karl Anthony Towns. I've been in the league for years. I'm going to go get mines. Like, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm Cat Jokic. Why would I stop what I'm doing? Because Wemby is on the floor. If anything, that's going to make me want to play up to his level to get those conversations going. But obviously, anybody with the that's not blind knows Wemby's greater than Karl Anthony Towns. But I think that he's their hardest big they've seen. With Hartenstein, no disrespect to Hartenstein, great big. He was on my Knicks. I love the guy. I love his engine. He plays hard. But the thing with Hartenstein, he can't shoot the rock, and he doesn't have the vision like Karl Anthony Towns has.
Hardenstein is an underrated passer. If you want to argue Carl Anthony Towns is better, you can definitely do that. But Hardenstein could definitely pass
Oh,
the
he can
rock.
pass the ball. Well, I just don't think it's up to Karl Anthony Towns level at this point.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm definitely not mad at that at all. But
Wait, time out, time out. We talked about this next the whole time. Nobody's gonna talk about Cleo. We have to get on Cleveland.
Oh, you know what's funny? Cleveland just made a statement that said Kenny Atkinson and James Harden will be back next year.
We did. And you always have a lot to say about Harden too. So I'll let you
no,
start it off.
well, Sam, I already told you all this, and you argued with me saying that this trade was gonna make wonders, and this was about to. And I already told you it wasn't. James Harden just isn't that guy that in the biggest pressure moments, he's going to do what you need him to do. Like I'm literally watching these games, and James Harden is just not that same dude. James Harden to me right now is a glorified role player. he can still get you 20 on any given night, but a lot of role players can do that. Like back in the days when the Jamal Crawfords and people like Lou Williams came off the bench, they can get you 20 to 30 on any given night. Like, and James Harden can do that. But if you're asking him to be your second, even third best player to win at all, I don't think right now at his age he's able to do that due to once again his age and he can't defend. He's just not that guy. I think you blow this whole Cleveland team up. I don't think it makes sense to bring them all back, especially Kenny Atkinson after the egregious game 1, where I don't think as a coach that you can come back from, and then all these dudes because and here's the number one reason why teams in the East next year are going to get better. Indiana is going to be better next season because they're getting back their point guard and they got Zubac. The Knicks are already going to be in contention. Detroit is going to upgrade their offense,
You
and
got the Wizards
Boston,
to be a surprise team.
you
With
never know.
just AD.
Right. And Boston is definitely going to retool and they're definitely going to be in the mix. That's 4 teams right there that I would already have above Cleveland right now if I was able to go on FanDuel and bet who's coming out of the Eastern Conference. This Cleveland team is not lacking talent, they're lacking heart. It's a problem, and I said this on another show. When your player who has the most heart, it seems like, is Max Strus. Like it just really doesn't make any sense to me. I think Evan Mobley once again is a bust. And that doesn't mean that he can't play the game of basketball. It means for how high I drafted him and what was expected, he's just not doing that to me. I watched again in a game 4 last night. Evan Mobley has no post moves.
Yeah.
There's just not much that he can do defensively. Okay, great. But I drafted you third overall and paying you this money to block some shots.
So where does the Cleveland Cavaliers go from here?
That,
Like, is the future still with Donovan Mitchell? Is the future with Evan Mobley?
that
Because, like you
Nah,
said,
I've lost all faith. I lost all faith in Donovan Mitchell because I don't see how you're a basketball player. You're the number one option, getting paid all this money, and I seen you in a game 1 when, and I'm gonna keep bringing up that game because, ironically enough, that was the pivotal game in the series. That is where it could have made the Cavs build momentum, and I think it would have been a different series, and that's how the Knicks was able to sweep them. Donovan Mitchell, last play of the game, we already know what happened on that run, which was disgusting. But last play of the game, you pass it up and give it to James Harden, and you run to the corner. Kobe Bryant is rolling over in his grave because that just doesn't make any sense. I,
this is
I
what I
just don't I just don't understand it. So once again, I will blow it up, but they're
I
not going
respect.
to.
I respect what Justo said, and I do agree with him to some degree. But I think that Cleveland brought a guy like James Harden in. Obviously, they want him to score the basketball at a high level, obviously. But I think they really brought him in to unlock the bigs, and I think James Harden didn't do his job. I think that this is what I tell people: when you have a cancer in the locker room, it rubs off. James Harden is a cancer in locker rooms. He gets in these locker rooms. He's like a spoiled star. He's a brat. He wants everything to be ran through him. He doesn't, because this is me. I think Evan Mobley's, like, surprisingly to me, I think Evan Mobley had the best series out of them three, out of D. Mitch, out of James Harden. I just think that he didn't get enough touches. It was one game he had 14 points in the first half and didn't
No,
get a touch in the second half.
no.
That cannot happen. And with you having a guard up to James Harden caliber, we have seen James Harden make Clint Capella look like Shaq. If you cannot unlock Evan Mobley, what are you good for at this point in your career? That's what we brought you here for, to make the job easier for guys like Evan Mobley, like Jared Allen. Because Darius, to me, like, no disrespect to James Harden, but Darius Garland could have did what James Harden gave them in the conference finals. Probably even a little bit more. You turned the ball over more than field goals you made. And I'm not mad at Harden, but I think that he has to just go to Kenny Atkins and say, I'm not that guy no more. Let's get a real point guard. I don't mind being in the corner someplace. I don't mind going to the bench if we're about to blow a 22-point lead. I'm not the prolific scorer I
He's
once.
not. Do you know who you're talking about? He's not doing that.
I do, but this is why I say, do you love the game or are you a spoiled brat? James Harden,
James
and
Harden wants his money. He doesn't
I
give a fuck about the game. He
So hold
wants
on,
his
hold on.
dollars and cents. He doesn't give a fuck what team he's on, what culture he plays for, what role he's in. He's gonna fool you for the first couple of weeks after he's on your team. That's when everything looks great. That happened in Philly. That
get that.
happened in Brooklyn. That happened with this team. Where the first couple weeks he makes the bigs look good because he can do a pretty little pick and roll. But once you really need him, he is not going to show up. Period.
I'm a believer in that, Justo. But you know how you fix the problem? I actually don't believe
You
Cleveland.
don't pay him.
This is how I think you fix the problem. You go out and you get a player that's greater than him. Cleveland, I did it for you. You listen. Whoever is in the Cleveland front office, you call Rich Paul tonight. LeBron James. We see your Lakers. We see what's going on with the Lakers. We're you talk to Harden. You have to take a pay cut, obviously. We're willing to offer you this. We think you are the missing piece. I've been telling people all year, if LeBron James goes there for 1 year, he can switch the culture. Because, like I said, it's locker room guys. You need a guy to go to James Harden and say, you're on some BS right now, and we're not feeling it. But you cannot do that when you haven't done anything. D. Mitch can't go to Harden and tell him anything. He don't respect him. You haven't did anything. You haven't even made it out the second round. Why am I going to listen to a guy that's going to say, oh, but if I'm a guy that got 4 rings, if I come up to you and tell you you want some BS, you're going to take heel to that because that's LeBron James. They have to do everything in their power to try to bring LeBron James to Cleveland next season.
Or Kawhi Leonard.
LeBron
I mean,
James.
I
Kawhi is
mean,
not
I,
the
def-
player that's not going
I
to talk. He's not going to talk. You need a locker room guy. James Harden, I'm sorry. If I'm on Cleveland Cavaliers, he can't text my phone for a few weeks. And it's not to be mean and it's not to, but you're on he's in a certain caliber of player. He's a top 75 player. We have never seen this guy show up from his prime to now. And it's becoming disgusting. I'm tired of the excuses with James Harden. I'm tired of blaming the other guys. I'm tired of everything. And then you go in the post game and say we was the better team. Come
Yeah, that
on,
was
man.
crazy. That was crazy.
James Harden got to stop that. He's too good of a player to go out like a coward. And I don't mean this to disrespect him, obviously, if he sees this clip, but you're too great of a player. At some point, tip your hat to the Knicks and say they bust our living egg. And we have to come back and we have to be better. Don't go in there talking about the better team. You're on some Kitty Atkins bullshit.
No, I think that's why they might gel well together, man. They both might be delusional in their own way. If you could say analytically you won 2 out of the 3 games, then you're not there. You checked out in the real world. You checked out in the real game. You checked out on the eye test. You checked out in the series when you say we won 2 out of the 3 games. Because the eye test is showing otherwise. The eye test is saying we're not diving for loose balls hard enough. We're not switching hard on rotations. We're not coming to help when Jalen Brunson drives to the basket. We are not in mid. They went zone. That's how I know they gave up. They completely went zone and tried to throw something different. They was man the whole time. They say, yo, James Harden cannot guard. Donovan Mitchell cannot guard.
What does zone give up?
Extra threes. And it just opened up the paint even more on those backdoor cuts.
The way Landry, Shaman, and Deuce McBride's been shooting the basketball, if I shook their hand and went to Elmont Road, I might be the second coming. That's how much they've been hot as fish grease. Why would you go zone when these guys been shooting at that high of a level?
Yeah. I definitely agree. Like I said, I already seen a report that they plan to pay Harden money. If you do that, you're setting your
How much?
franchise. I don't know, but they'll definitely be setting their
Trying to
franchise
take a
back.
pay cut.
So, since you are a LeBron fan, do you think LeBron gets them over the hump?
In Cleveland, yeah, like if you put LeBron on this team, right, that just in this series and took out Harden, I think the Cavs could have done it, right? Because LeBron actually knows how. to pick apart these different types of offenses, man. Like LeBron's been through so many playoff situations. He's seen so many different defensive coverages. He's seen so many different types of offenses. He knows how to pick it apart. All he needs now at this point in his career is actually a scorer like Donovan Mitchell. I just this Cleveland team, I don't know why they already jumped and these reports came out the day after they just got swept that they want to bring back Atkinson and now re-sign Harden. Take a breather and watch some film. It's like you just woke up the next morning like, yeah, just run it back. Nigga, you just got swept. Like, we seen a play to where they stopped playing. I know we all seen that viral clip in
Yeah, they
game three.
quit.
And Jalen Brunson did some Harlem Gold Charger and just dribbled around them and had an open layup. And everybody's looking like, that doesn't. When's the last time we even seen that?
You,
I've never. I can't remember where I see that team. They need to take a long look in the mirror before they
you know what
make
I want to say
any
though?
basketball decisions.
I don't want to open an open scar because I'm a Knicks fan. I might get emotional if I even talk about this too long. But this is why everybody said after the 22 collapse. I've been a part of a collapse last year to Tyrese Halliburton. When you take the life out of a team like that, it's so demoralizing. You get on that plane like you go back to that hotel room like they're better than us. We were up this amount of points with this amount of time left. How the hell did we lose this basketball game? And it hurts. But I think that you could do two things. You could do what the Knicks did, and you could go to the club and you could put signs 2027 finals on the bottles coming out, or you can make excuses to say we're the better team in post games. And I think the Cleveland job is they have too much guys over there that want to speak too much. They're too emotional. They want to go to the post game.
Dennis
They
Schroeder.
want to speak. Dennis Schroeder posted after every loss. When is we gonna have some pride? Kevin Durant had the comment on his post. You have one more game for them to realize.
Kevin Durant has no right to speak on anything. He quit it. He just quit on his team. So right message, wrong messenger. Kevin Durant, you're not gonna try to sneak
Hey,
your way into into these conference finals and finals. Now think you about to be back in the media. You just quit on your team.
and we haven't heard from you since. Actually, we have them new KDs.
Definitely. But I just think that how do we have more urgency than the players in the locker room? I this is me. I wanted a long series because I'm tired of seeing my guys at home sipping wine. I'm tired of it. I love basketball. I grew up wanting to see basketball at the highest level. And I grew up watching LeBron and Stephen Curry battle till they was literally had nothing left to give. And that's what I think basketball is about. I just don't see that fire out of D. Mitch and James Harden and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I think that they had their bags packed to Italy or Mexico, wherever the family trip is this summer. And I think Donovan Mitchell was worried about obviously his wedding this summer. I don't think they was thinking nothing about
Now
basketball.
hold on 1 second. I can understand if you have your mind, Donovan Mitchell, on some things off the court. I definitely understand for obvious reasons. But just
You ain't
speaking of
win. You said, get off me, nigga. You ain't win.
I just think like at some level you have to have a sense of pride. And I think that they didn't even fight back after the 22-point loss. It just they kept bringing it up. It's like we don't care.
Bro, it takes a certain type of team to come back from that. And I said this to Seb. They're not that kind of team. Like they would have lost. Listen, they really should have lost in the first round.
Yeah,
Yes,
literally.
Really, Toronto didn't have their point guard. If feel me, if I feel if they have had quickly and we see Brandon Ingram just disappear,
oh,
they would have lost that series. And if Houston, if Detroit had any other offensive option that you could depend on, they would have won that series. So Cleveland got by, but once they matched up with the Knicks, and this is why they say they can match up offensively with the Knicks, and that's what we've seen in game one, to where they have pieces to where if they're hitting, which they wasn't at game one, they can compete. But then it also comes down, you have to have some heart, man. This is where a time in basketball to where the little things matter. And I don't want after in a clutch game one. our basketball lives are on. It's just at stake, and we put our faith into Sam Merrill for a game winner. No,
Well, we have two
no,
timeouts.
no, no, no,
Two
no, no,
timeouts. We
no,
have two
no.
timeouts
So
too.
that's what I'm saying. I don't understand how Kenny Atkinson has a job. You had a timeout there too. The last play. Let's draw up the our best play and let's win this game. He said, "You know what, Harden, I trust you." Harden
I
gets
think
doubled, and you give the ball to Sam Merrill for the win.
I think that listen, I get what you're saying. I get the Sam Merrill thing, but what D Mitch and Harden gave me, I'm not mad at Sam Merrill getting that last shot.
No, no, you have to live and die with your
They're both players.
best players.
Yeah, but I think Harden and D Mitch, like the performance they gave was so lackluster. How is my dogs? I'm not gonna say nothing because obviously this is a touchy topic, but how is my dog Sam Merrill and Max Strus?
Yeah, what happened to all this Game 7 Jared Allen? What happened to him being the vocal
How are
leader?
those my dogs? And any other top 5 team or team that's still left in it, there will be puppies in the locker room. There will be puppies. How are they your dogs? If I got to worry about Sam Merrill picking up full court, I'm not worried. And that's why I told Seb when before the series started, I said we're winning in 5. I gave Cleveland one game because I thought D Mitch was better than this. And D Mitch, I love you as a player. You're a hell of a scorer, but you disappointed a lot of people, bro. When the lights were bright, you didn't do nothing. You wasn't efficient from 3 at all. You didn't demand the ball at all. It was like you just was out there.
You went with the flow of things. That's the thing, but I can't get on D Mitch too much because my max ceiling for him was only a conference finals. I mean, it was only the second round. So
D Mitch is, we call you Spider. What do we see Spider-Man do? He saves the girl. He even when the train and his mask is ripped off, he stops the train. This is Spider. I don't care if you go out in a Game 7 heartbreaker. We cannot allow you to stand in the corner and let James Harden tween step back. We've seen
we can't allow
this.
that. We can't allow that.
We can't allow that.
Yeah.
My thing with Cleveland is I think you got to retool the roster, see what they see. You might have to make a move to where realistically, maybe Jared Allen might not be able to come back. Somebody's not going to be able to come back. If you want to get over
I don't want none of them back.
I want Giannis.
Jared Allen's not that good. Dude, we have to stop glorifying these players. Jared Allen's not that good.
He has value on the market team though.
I'm not talking about value right now, which I'm talking about him watching him as a player. Jared Allen is not that good.
He's a solid big in the NBA.
But so let me ask you a question. How does I get Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is nothing on his resume, but how does he move the needle with a guy what guys don't want to try? It's very hard to move.
Because there's one thing you said, you was talking about a locker room leader and a guy that demands the best out of people. Giannis is not going to sit back and let Donovan Mitchell and James Harden do that type of shit and show no type of effort. He's going to. I've seen time and time again where Giannis is vocal on that bench. When you look at the bench with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, they look defeated. They look like they're just staring up. James Harden look like he's in La La Land.
You think James Harden is going to listen to Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Only person that
Get the fuck out of here! Like he ain't listening to him.
The problem is LeBron James in the NBA. James Harden will not take yield to nobody else in the NBA.
And I want to say that just being a LeBron fan, but I just feel Harden's mind is on getting his bread. Whatever happens in the regular season and playoffs, it is what it is. Like, he wants his money.
This is the thing with LeBron, though. Like, LeBron's not going to say your name, but he's going to tell what did he go on his podcast and say about the Lakers? OKC just had better talent. He be honest. You need a guy to call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. Let me use an example. Have you ever obviously been in a house or anything, and a parent comes home, they're frustrated, and they just throw subs? You think they're hinting at a specific sibling or maybe even yourself, and they just keep throwing subs, right? Eventually, in your mind, you'll be like, damn, I wish you would just say who it is. And the thing about LeBron, he's going to say who it is. And he's going to say, what's the problem? Whether it's the coach, whether it's James Harden, whether it's Donovan Mitchell, because he knows how great LeBron James is. Giannis, he'll go there and he'll dominate. I don't gotta question that. But he's not gonna fix guys' mindset. If you don't want to win at the highest level, he's not gonna tell you to show up to work and care.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree, and I think LeBron could do that for Donovan Mitchell. I just like James Harden is back in Atlanta right now. He's waiting. He's waiting for the sun to go down. Magic City about to be lit tonight. Like he don't care. Like
He got
what has he shown us that he cared? You already brought up he had no accountability when going to that press conference.
I thought it was
Just
AI.
none.
I thought it was AI. When I first seen because you know how they like you got to swipe over to see the real talk. When I seen the quote and parentheses, I thought it was AI.
When he then went to the club.
No. When he went to the post game and said we were the better team, I thought it was AI. I couldn't believe he made a statement like that.
Well, I
But
thought it
now
was
look, if your coach says that, right, that analytically we won 12 the 3 games, now it gives you some space to now you're gonna say some stupid shit. Because now it's like, well, he just said it. So now he had my back. Now I'm about to piggyback off what he said. So
yeah.
now it's dumb and dumber. Mordecai and Rigby. They're doing the same stupid shit.
I don't know obviously these guys' background, but I do believe they both wasn't on the short bus. And not to obviously disrespect nobody that struggles mentally, but I don't believe those two do. And I think that to go in the post game and make a comment like that, it shows how much of a coward James Harden has been maybe the last 6-7 years of his career. It's never his fault. It's always point the finger. It's never you was partying with little baby the whole summer, so you're out of shape. It's never no accountability for James Harden. So at what point do I say, all right, we have to mellow him out the league? And I don't say this to disrespect James Harden because I think he's still a hell of a player. But when Melo didn't want to go to the bench, what did the league do to Melo? Nobody wanted to F with Carmelo Anthony. And I think the same treatment has to be done for James Harden. You cannot have these games where you have more turnovers than field goals, and it's not even close. Last night, he had 6 turnovers. He scored 2 field goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these
So
series are the make or breaks in your career to where you could literally be blackballed where a team don't want no interest in you, but somehow, some way, I personally think James Harden's going to find his way to getting his money. And if the Cleveland Cavaliers don't want to pay him his money, another team will find a way to pay him money. I guarantee you that. One thing about him, James Harden, he's going to get his money.
He doesn't move the needle.
He
Listen,
don't, but he's going to get his money.
because I just want us to give some predictions on the game tonight, and then we're gonna end the show. But this is the last thing I just want to say. I'm gonna actually give some respect to Daryl Morey. This is when he was still running things in Philadelphia, and James Harden said he is a liar. Two things can be true. He is a liar, and he made the best decision of his life. Because you didn't, because at that time when James Harden once again flamed out of the playoffs, Daryl Morey said, I know what I said to you a couple months ago. But did you see what you just did? I'm not giving you shit.
Yeah, you gave me 9 points in a game 7 where Tatum scored 50.
Like I know what I said a couple months ago. We was both drinking at the spot, and we was talking like you just came off a triple double in the regular season. Yeah, I was feeling good after what I just seen last night. Fuck no.
Yeah, you can't get shit for
Justin, I got a question though. Before we get into the predictions, do you pay Tobias Harris to be the Detroit Pistons?
Do I pay him? Yeah, I do. Because Tobias Harris, even though in that game 7 he kind of folded, he was hitting his overs a lot of the damn time, and I don't even know if Detroit makes it to that point without a Tobias Harris. So I'm not saying no max dollars. Fuck no.
I pay him like the third or fourth best
I,
option on.
I'm thinking like a 2-year team option, 20 mil.
Yeah, if he's not
Like,
taking,
if you want to do that,
I don't pay him. And it sucks because Tobias Harris had a hell of a year, had a hell of a post thing, but
Probably his best year of his career.
like I told y'all when I first came up here, Cade Cunningham needs a Robin because he's Batman. And
yeah.
You need a guy to come out there, and you need the guy to take pressure off of him. And I think if I'm gonna go out and pay Tobias Harris 30 million plus, I can go get Laurie Markkinen. I could go get Trey Murphy. Why am I giving you this money when you don't move the needle?
I definitely agree, but we're gonna talk about the Knicks and Detroit and a lot more Eastern Conference teams once the off season hits and people start making their moves. But we just got to talk about the game tonight. Spurs and Thunder, game five, pivotal game five at Oklahoma City. Just I'll start off with you, son. Just who do you have tonight and why?
Me personally, I'm gonna lean towards the Spurs tonight, only because I don't know the game time decisions, J Dub and AJ Mitchell, but I just feel like the Spurs they figured something out in that game four that was pivotal and is gonna be pivotal in the series. They figured out that okay, we're gonna take Shea out the game, and we'll live with the results. We'll live with the Jared McCain. We'll live with the Alex Caruso's. We'll live with them. If you beat me, hats off to you. But I'm not letting SGA beat me. And I think that recipe sets them up for great success. But this is what I say for the Spurs to win, and we can see if this is true. Wemby has to stop having these games where he settles for jump shots and he doesn't demand the ball in the fourth quarter. In game three, they could have won that game when they were at home. The reason they lost is because, to me, I think Wemby, he was getting fouled. And I get the frustration. You're getting fouled. Guys are not calling it. But at some point, give me the damn ball. I'm going to put pressures on the refs. I don't want to see Devin Vassell keep taking pull-ups. I don't even want to see Stephen Castle. If you're not hitting them, stop taking threes. Give the ball to Wemby and dominate the paint.
So
My predictions for this game. I think this is a bounce back for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Every time I watch this team play and they take a loss, I feel as if they always find a different way to respond. Whether it was in game two where Shea Gildas just said, "I'm gonna just take over," and Hartenstein added with the physicality, and then just even now, I think that the Oklahoma City Thunder understand that there's a sense of urgency now more than ever, especially with a team that is this hungry and this dominant as the Spurs. The way Victor Wembanyama came out in that game one, I mean in that last game, really set the tone for how the rest of the series is going to be because he understands it. Wemby understands himself that in order for us to be the best version of ourselves, I have to be the best version. And when he started out that first quarter, had about 7 points though, set the tone, scored on offensively. Everybody else fell in line. You see the Stephon Castle of the world get more animated on defense. They're letting Shea Gilgeous go one-on-one at him. They're not sending help over to drive and kick shooters. They're letting Shea do their thing. There was a sense of aggression. And their whole game plan was if Shea beats us, Shea beats us. But the other guys are not going to get involved. That's why you seen a guy like Jalen Williams. He couldn't buy a three-point shot coming off that game three to where he had like 5 threes. Jared McCain couldn't get going offensively either. Somebody that had 21 points in game three couldn't buy you nothing. Alex Caruso was a no-show. There literally was a bunch of no-shows. The only two people that was doing their thing somewhat was Shea, even though he had a suspect game, and Hartenstein, who for the first quarter had like 8 points off of the straight floaters. You're not going to win a game like that. And so I understand. I think they understand that. A guy like Chet Holmgren has to understand the importance of a moment and a rivalry. These are the games that, I'd say affect your legacy. And right now, I feel as if Chet is getting punked.
You don't say AJ Mitchell though and J-Dub play a factor?
The health doesn't. I mean, it's the playoffs. You got to play with who you got to play with, though. But when you have an MVP caliber player in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, you shouldn't have that much worries that we're missing JW. As long as we got Shea and I do my part, we should be well enough. And I'm gonna admit it, Chet hasn't done his part thus far in this series. He hasn't been the defensive tenacious defender that we know him to be. We haven't seen him take over the game offensively too to help Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He has been a no-show. Lou Dort is just somebody out there that I feel like just gets cardio. Every time I watch Lou Dort play in this series now, he just got cardio. I'm missing other guys too. But for the most part, though, this game 5 is pivotal.
So let me ask you a question. If they lose this game, do you think they lose the series?
Yes. Because you don't go into San Antonio like that and then so you gotta pick. I think that you gotta get the crowd rocking. Shea Gilgeous has to have his best game of the postseason. I know he had like around 45 or something like that against the Phoenix Suns. These ain't the Phoenix Suns. This is Stephon Castle coming at you. This is Darren Fox coming at you. This is Dylan Harper. This is a multitude of defenders, though. You're gonna have to put the pressure on them to say either the referee's gonna have to call it, or I'm gonna straight up get a bucket though. And Shea has shot shitty in most of these games too, so it's on him. The pressure now is more on him because Wembanyama's gonna be there. He wants the moment more than anybody else on that court, but it's for you to deprive him of that moment in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So my key, my X factor for this game 5, if the Oklahoma City Thunder even want to think about winning this game, Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren gonna have to put up a monster 15 and 15. He's gonna have to be impactful on the defensive end, and he has to put his force on the offensive end, whether it's hitting some timely threes or whether it's being a force in the paint. He's gonna have to do something to counter Wemby to make it seem that he's an offensive presence, and he has not been able to do that thus far. So if anybody's gonna do, and I know you don't have J Dub, and you don't have AJ Mitchell, I understand that. But you're the second best player. You are an all NBA caliber player. You're a third team all NBA. There should be no reason why you're having these measly 8-point games and 8 rebounds.
I'm gonna let Justo go, but what you got to remember it is a help on Shea. You got to remember when he gets about the mid range, whoever Wemby's guarding, he forgets about them, contest. So now when Shea gets into his shot mechanics and you see this large hand and wingspan, that is what messes Shea up. But I'll let Justo go.
No, yeah, I agree with some of the points that both of y'all made. This series has just been so interesting because it's just been a literal chess match. One coach makes an adjustment, and then the coach makes an adjustment off that adjustment. We all know the players that have to step up and do better. If I'm taking a money line pick tonight, I'm gonna go with the home team. I am gonna go with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I definitely just think them being at home, having the crowd rocking, think that's definitely going to help. We already know role players do play better at home. First, let me just address Shay. Shay, you're gonna have to stop trying to foul bait. And I know this is something that a lot of the world has kind of made a narrative, but I've seen it a lot in this series. You're going to have to look to score first, not just draw it. And now you're literally dictating a finals berth on the referees. The referees in the NBA are the worst referees in sports, period. Because there's too many egregious calls that I've seen not called and called that in other sports you will be fired.
The Aaron
But
Fox shit was insane.
right.
And
So Shay, you need to focus on being that MVP, two-time back-to-back MVP player and show us why tonight. We all know, and I forget the exact percentage of teams that win that game 5 that go on to win the series, but it's over 60%.
75%, I believe.
Right. So Shay, you need to be that dude and set the tone early. So your guys that because you're leading the troop. These dudes are following you. Remember, this is a young team. It's not like you have a LeBron James on the roster to where you just expect everybody to fall in line and stuff like that. No, this is a young team. Sometimes they may get a little distracted. Right? The Jared McCains might be just doing too many minutes on TikTok, right? And some of these dudes just may not always be there, but tonight is the night. So I'm expecting Shea to have 40. How is he gonna do it? I don't fucking know. Because the pressure that the Spurs, hold on, I'm gonna let you go, that the Spurs is putting on you has been deadly and it's kind of been exposing you a bit. So you need to figure that out. That's why you getting paid millions of dollars and I'm not, because I would have folded in that matchup like a cheap 10. So you need to make sure you're getting that done tonight. Figure it out. But I think the X factor to me is just going to be the others, right? The Jared McCains of the world, who is to me arguably the most underrated player in basketball. And me and Seth have said this many times now. Philadelphia trading him away for a pack of tube socks and some grabber just doesn't make any damn sense. And that was one of the reasons why Daryl Morey right now is watching the playoffs with the rest of us. But that's a story for another day. Jared McCain, Alex Caruso, who arguably has been the second best player in this series behind Wembanyama, right? That game 1 and game 2, him averaging about 30. He got to knock down those 3-point shots because you see that they're gonna give them to you. So either you're gonna go 8 for 13 like you did in what was that game 2 or game 1? I'm forgetting.
Game one.
Or right, or you're gonna go 0 for 6. And that's just opened up the game for the Spurs. And the last dude who doesn't maybe get speaked about enough, not J Dub, but Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams, who had a big game 3 and who damn near arguably you could say won them that game just with the spark that he gave you. Because we seen when San Antonio went on that 15-0 run at home, and it was looking a little scary for a second. Jay Williams comes in the game, started knocking down them threes, and that kind of opened up the game for everybody else. Those three players are going to have to step up. They're going to have to at home, and I expect them to. But if that does not happen, and all the pressure now is on Shea, and you see that they got those type of defenders that Son just brought up, the Dylan Harpers, the Stephon Castles, who am I forgetting?
Devin
Devin
Vassell,
Vassell, the Julian
Right.
Champagne.
Aaron Fox,
All
Julian Penny.
there you go. Darren Fox was the name I was forgetting. They're gonna throw those type of defenders at you. It just may be too much for one guy. Now, Chet, I don't know. Sometimes you get exposed in series. Like we talk about, James Harden just got exposed. Sometimes you meet your match. I I don't know what to say to a Chet Holmgren. I mean, you're 7 foot yourself, so Wimby only has you by about 3 to 4 inches. Pause. But it's like you're not that small. Like I don't know what's going on with him, Mister Abraham Lincoln. Like you need to get it together quickly.
I just want to say shout out to Justo. I see he's taking a couple things from Stephen A. Shout out to y'all. Y'all been doing a hell of a job. Shout out to Seb. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to podcast. It's debatable. But what I want to say also is coaching matters, and I love the Spurs coach. When I don't know why people try to make it weird when he was yelling at Carter Bryant, but it's passion. We're in the Western Conference Finals.
Gotta yell at a Carter Bryant.
Yell at him. It's not time for me to sit back and tell you good job. Stop fouling shade. We need your defensive presence because Castle's in foul trouble. And if you can't understand it by me telling you it, I have to scream it. And there's nothing wrong with
I have
that.
to grab you by your jersey.
I have
Nigga
to
said, listen, yo, listen to me.
I have to scream it. So shout out for him to being a hell of a coach. Shout out also to the OKC Thunder coach. But I think this series comes down to coaching, and I just think the Spurs coach is a little bit more hungry than OKC's coach due to that ring. I also want to say back to your point where you said you don't know what you have to do with Chet. The only person that could fix him is his girl. I don't know if he has a girl, but she has to go to him and say, "Babe, you're playing like a bitch." And I don't know if that's going to spark the fire. I don't know if he's going to feel like I'm the man of this house. I'm going to show I'm the man of this house. But that's the only person that can inspire Chet Holmgren. Because we had Stephen A. call him out. We had the media call him out. It seems like he wants to keep downplaying this and saying, oh, it's not a rival. We play basketball. This is a rival. Wemby, whatever happened during USA, I don't know if he was talking crazy. I don't know what happened. But Wemby took it personal. And he's going to tell him, I'm going to dominate you my whole NBA career. And y'all not a lot of years apart, so y'all got to deal with each other.
Yeah, career's gonna intertwine regardless.
Yeah, Chet, I just don't know really what to say. I think Kendrick Perkins, ironically enough, just said it the best. Like, he don't like you. Like, this is someone that wants to take your head off. He's taking this matchup personally. Well, now, but let's also call a spade a spade. They're on two different levels. I keep saying it so we can get on him and articulate his game when it comes to Chet and all that until the cows come home. Wembenyama is the ultimate wild card. I said this already. So when we spoke earlier about Cat, he's gonna have some problems too that he's gonna have to figure out. All right, and we're gonna see is he gonna be able to live up to that test. Wembenyama is hard to guard. We already seen the J Dubs of the world, the Anthony Edwards talk about it's hard to score on this dude, and this is Anthony Edwards who has the utmost confidence in the world. He said, "Yo, this is tough."
But with Chet,
I don't know.
this is the thing with Chet. I get it. I understand. But you're 7-1. You're not no
You're
not like
you're
you're-
walking around. You're not Jalen Williams, not J Dub, the other Jalen Williams, where we're like, you're giving up so much size pause that you're gonna have a problem. This is Chet Holmgren. This is arguably one of their best bigs in the league, and you have to show up. I don't mean outplay Wemby because you're not better than Wemby. We know that he made all team first conference for a reason. You made third for a reason. But you have to show up. To be invisible and be taken out the game like that, those type of things just can't happen.
Yeah, because look at this. I would say this, and I think he would still dominate the matchup. Imagine now if we had Kevin Garnett on Wemby right now. Like,
AB, I don't care if I gotta elbow you. You gonna feel my
yeah.
presence.
And this is what I said to said when we spoke about Harden, Garden, Brunson. If it was me out there and I was Harden during that run and he can't stay in front of me, flagrant foul. Flagrant. I'm putting him on his ass because we have to stop the momentum and I have to show you may score on me, but nigga, I'm crazy as fuck. And
We got
it ain't gonna go down like that.
we
So
got
I don't know
Jose
if Chet got
It
that's
ain't gonna be that though.
we got Jose Alvarado that deal
right.
with the thugs though.
Yeah.
That's the guy that comes in when the thugs want to be the thugs. He gonna hit you with the sleeper like he did to the who did he hit earlier in the season? Who
Yeah,
he
I'm
got
forgetting
into?
though, but I do remember that moment. I'm forgetting though
It was
who
Mark
it was.
Williams, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna hit you with that one sleeper, and that's why you need dogs. I think Lou Dort and I think Case and Wallace, they were more dogs last year. I think that Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell is punking them a little bit. And
Cause
I'm
they
not
Hold on,
punks.
Wallace. Hold on, Wallace is doing his thing. If you're
he's
all
doing his
watching it,
thing,
Dort though, Dort's been a virtual no show.
but
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I haven't
Wallace,
seen
I
him
like
get in
Wallace.
people's face as much as they like to you usually. And it's because Castle, I love this kid because of his motor. He don't care. He's like a running back
He's a
that
YN.
plays basketball. He doesn't care who's in front of him. It's give me the ball and get out of my way. And guys like that, you have to get into a pushing match and you have to flagrant foul to send a message. And you have to let them know we're not going to crawl down. And I think OKC, their tenacity is on another level, but the Spurs just been more physical.
No, they
Thus far.
respond. I feel like the Spurs responded in that because game three they was giving Stephon Castle a lot of hard fouls to where they kind of psyched him out at the line a lot of times. I seen them back to back where Caruso was being that aggressive, and you're gonna have to do that. And they took a game off from that in game four because they felt comfortable being in a 2-1 lead that we could go back to our winning style of basketball. That physicality of basketball got to be for a whole 7-game series against this team though, because the way that they responded, they look like they was the bully, bro.
This series, it's literally a fight. It's literally
Yeah.
a fight on TV with refs, and it's a heavyweight matchup. It's the Mike Tysons of the world, the Muhammad Ali of the world, the Joe Frazier's of the world, and they're going blow for blow. But what separates you in the fight is who's going to throw that hit to say, okay, I'm going for the win. And I think that a series doesn't start really until a road team wins, which both have done. But to me, I don't think a series starts till a road team wins twice.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Well, right now, unless we get a game seven, right? This is the most pivotal game of the series. This is gonna show literally who wants it more,
Because now
right?
it's a
This,
3-game series. Now, forget the past 4 games. This is a 3-game series now. Somebody got
yeah.
to win the next two.
Yeah, so once again, either Shay's gonna show I'm the best in the world and put together a game to where we'll talk about the next time on this show and say he shut up the naysayers, or it's gonna be Wimby who's gonna have a game like game one and show like this is my league and the rest of y'all just gonna have to figure it out. So that's gonna do it for this episode of It's Debatable NBA Edition. I want to thank San for coming on. Definitely brought a lot of interesting insight. Right, our resident Knicks fan. He definitely had to
Thank you
be
for
on
having
this
me.
show.
I want to give a shout out to Justo. I want to give a shout out to Seb. I see them doing their thing. I support great, great unbiased talks of basketball. I've been seeing Justo. Let me give you your flowers, Justo. I've been seeing you talk about the Knicks in high altitudes. And all I could do is say I appreciate it. Shout out to New York Knicks. Shout out the whole crew. I'm going to continue to vote. I will be back up on It's Debatable, maybe game 3, game 4. We'll talk about how the series is going in the finals. But I want to give a shout out to y'all. I love to see black men obviously striving for success. Shout out to y'all.
Nah, yeah, I definitely appreciate you, bro. I try to be, unless we're talking about LeBron and the Lakers, I try to be as unbiased as possible. I'm just not gonna let Seb try to get away with some of the things that he gets away with on this platform. But I appreciate having him here. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms at It's Debatable double underscore. Hold on, we just got something from a
This was
fan.
mad like an hour ago. Holy shit.
Well, read it, Seb, real quick. Just read his comment.
And I quote, shout out to Raw Nams GM, Brunson, prime over Prime Curry, D Rose, AI, Rondo, Chris Paul, and your favorite point guard, Brunson Dynasty, man.
I ain't gonna say Stephen Curry. Don't disrespect the goal like that. But everybody else, get Brunson over that list.
Hold on, let me ask Seb a question real quick. I can always tell when he's lying. Seb, ask you one thing: Brunson or Prime Derrick Rose?
Jalen Brunson.
Oh, okay. yo, Jalen Brunson got stipulated.
Yo, I told you. Yo, yeah, yo, I told you. Yo, remember that clip we had in the studio where I said Jalen Brunson's a legend? You said, hold on, can he do something real quick? I'm gonna send you
Yeah,
the clip. Yeah.
yeah.
I said, no, I'm not waiting.
Well, Justin, we have one question. I know we have to answer. This is the final question. Do you think Jalen Brunson have surpassed Damian Lillard? Because our last conversation, you wasn't sold yet.
Right. On Dame. So we're talking about just right now, play like pound for pound.
I'm talking resume.
I, I'll say this. If any, I won't argue now. If someone said Brunson before I could argue with y'all, I don't really have much of an argument. You feel me? I just still remember some of the moments from Damian Lillard, right? I'm just more of a Dame guy. That's just me, right? That's
Only
just
for
more
fun.
of our child. That's just a little bit more of our me and Seb's childhood. Brunson has came more on the scene the last 3 years, but that's definitely something that I will not argue with a person that is saying Brunson because he has now done something that Dame has not done, and that's get to an NBA Finals as the number one option. I can't say anything about that.
Stuff. Shout out to you.
Yeah. So once again, follow us on social media platforms. Once again, at it's debatable double underscore. Follow me at Justin Jones on Facebook. Son, just end the show. Just tell them that where they could follow you at.
Instagram, obviously at sonbando_TG. Obviously, I just made a TikTok. I'm gonna obviously be posting some of these clips to my TikTok. Obviously, let me give you the TikTok real fast. At TikTok at sonbando.24. Check me out. I'm doing a lot of content. I was at the Knicks watch party. It was lit. Justo, you gonna come fuck with us?
Listen, man. Listen, man. I definitely want to go. Um, I hope. Well, let's just see in the finals. Yeah. No. I'm listen. I just said knows I would just work a crazy schedule to where my schedule change every single week. But I am trying to go to one of those Knicks watch party. Definitely be in that crowd and that energy. So I will make it my mission for the finals to try to go to at least one Knicks watch party for sure.
I'm gonna hold him to it. I'm gonna hold him to it.
Yeah, for sure. So that's it, man. Jersey.